Wow. 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 Hello there, welcome back to my channel. My name is SKYMAN Universe, and your Star Wars quote for today.
We've got to give those fighters more time. Concentrate on fighting that superstar.
And today we're going to be reacting to episode 12, Rescue on Ryloth of Bad Batch. Last week's episode. It was so good. I loved the fact that we saw Hera. It was on Ryloth, and it was taking Rebels and turning it into Clone Wars, and that's kind of the fantasy dream which I always wanted when I watched Rebels. So to see Hera on here now, and Chopper on there as well, and the little attention to details with the Y-Wing that Chopper was saved from. Those were the little bits which I really liked. I think this is a really, well, I predict this is going to be a really good episode on Ryloth, and with the Empire there, and obviously what happens to Hera's parents. I assume it's going to be quite sad, but I assume that also that this is going to be the first time that Hera flies. I don't know how much Crosshairs fits into this, but I did see a sneak peek of a leak last night, and it just showed a little bit of Crosshairs walking, and that was it. So no idea what that means, and I can't help but spoil it for myself. When I know that Bad Batch is coming on, or anything, you know, Loki or anything like that, I avoid I just do not go near it until I've seen it and I've filmed what I wanted to see. Then I go and explore, but it's untouchable and I don't get it ruined for myself. So there's a little thing when someone posts a sneak peek or something that's leaked, it's that you're fighting yourself basically to try not to look at it, and I showed great weakness and I caved in. But luckily it didn't ruin anything for me. So I'm really looking forward to this episode, the whole Ryloth situation, Hera, and I don't know how much this is going to sort of fit in of her being part of the early stages of the rebellion and where she goes after here. But one thing that I do love about this whole setup that's going on here at the moment is, like I said, Clone Wars branched off. It went to different, I don't want to say timelines, I've been watching Loki. We went to different parts and different people across the galaxy, and it kept it interesting. There was always something there for everyone. And the fact that it sort of branched in this direction with Hera, so it's now focusing on Ryloth, I love that. I love that it's given Bad Batch a little bit of a break, so you can love them more when they come back. And hopefully they do have a role to play in this as well, maybe with saving Hera or something like that. Something to do with Ryloth, that'd be really good. But anyway, we can endlessly speculate. This is like the exciting moments which I've really wanted to happen so much, is something happening at the end of the last episode and then leading on to what I assume is going to be a very exciting episode. So let's watch. I think I've warmed to that logo now. It reminds me of good old Mandalorian days. Ryloth looks really cool in this as well. I like the look of the city. Don't think we saw that in Clone Wars before.
Now the traitor of Ryloth.
Also the clone, I forgot about that. What's going on with the inhibitor chips? Why are they nice?
They won't believe. Have it your way.
What is going on with the clones? The chips? Man, come on, this is exciting. I love that. Is it wearing off or something, or?
Scour the entire planet.
Strange.
If you have to. Leave the thinking to me, Captain. You have your order.
That would be so good.
I'll locate Harrison Jula myself.
The chips wear
That's
off.
not necessary. Another squad.
No good for the Empire.
It's only a matter of time.
That's the way. These are the early Dave Filoni seeds I think are being planted at the moment. I'd love for all the clones to turn good again. Yeah. I'm confused. Am I watching Rebels, Clone Wars?
Send out the transmission, and fast.
You need Bad Batch, boy. There they are.
She needs us.
Omega.
Leave us to the
We
big
can't put ourselves
boys.
on
Is
the...
that what soldiers do?
It's what Jedi do. Soldiers just fight whoever's leading. Is that the Crescent Moon? Indiana Jones.
Free my parents from the capital.
Another extraction
If you get them out.
for the extraction gang. Go on, do it. Thanks, kid. Senator Fat Blue Guy has been shot by...
Citizens of Ryloth, the shocking attack on your beloved senator has left you shaken, but...
Good man. You learn how to fly though. It's your buddies. Don't say it. Say it, Crosshairs.
Clone Force 99 is on Ryloth.
Clone Force 99. Oh. What's going on with all these clones?
I don't need. He did.
I feel like Ezra's just gonna pop in. I could like hear his voice when I hear Chopper. I can hear them all.
We had to protect Hera.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Could be a trick. The music's giving me shivers.
Use that distraction to rescue Hera's parents.
Or maybe they won't. And maybe they realise that's what you're doing. Wow, it's so sad when astromechs get done.
It's all offline.
It's offline.
A little help. Hey.
I think Echo's quite funny. He's got a good sense of humour. Yeah, that'd be good if you killed a load of her people. They must be trying to divert our forces.
Where is she? Is she safe?
She's just flying around the shuttle.
Your dangerous and uncontrolled maneuvering is as confusing to them as it is to us.
Crosshairs.
Stop. That's not their target.
Why are they attacking it?
Because he's one of them. The sooner you realise this, Crosshairs, the sooner we can enjoy ourselves. How is it that the clones can look good and bad? Just the armour. It's weird.
The Empire is doing is wrong.
There's a lot of applauding for this clone.
Well, there's still time.
I just have that idea of all the clones turning good again and fighting the Empire.
What are we doing? We came here to free Ryloth.
He's gonna get shot by Crosshairs.
And we succeed.
He's got the white backlight.
And I will not be a part of it any longer.
Wow.
Who will stand with me?
Wow. 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 this is quite emotional. What's going on with the clones? And you messed up, Crosshairs. You did that. If only all the other clones dropped their weapons as well. And then captured Crosshairs' gang. Squad. So Hera's mom
But our people need us now.
survived it.
More than ever.
Take Omega.
Well,
I don't know why. I thought we were going to see the ghost.
Permission to hunt them down.
Granted.
Hunt them down. And then join the squad. Again. It's where you belong, Crosshairs. It's where you belong. That was a really great episode. Love that. That was an amazing episode. I loved it so much. There was so much going on there as well. It wasn't just like the hero and the parents and the Syndulas escaping. It was that clone stuff. Like, is that actually going to happen? Are all the clones going to turn good? That is just incredible to see. Like, it just wasn't, I should know his name, but you know, the commander captain. But it was the other clones as well. Like, they were seeing sense, and it was like half and half. So that's got to mean to me, like, that is the inhibitor chip wearing off, or something like that. They've done their duties. I don't know how that would have happened. I would have thought they'd have the inhibitor chip in there, and there's tons of orders for various different things. If just Order 66 was one of them, and probably turn them into sort of more aggressive troopers or something like that. after Order 66. I just don't know what is going on. Like, is it really transitioning the bad Order 66 clones back into the normal clones? Because if it did, I don't think I could handle that sort of emotional scene, whatever happened there. Because if more clones are going to defect and then realise they're Republic clones and not Empire, I mean, how else are the Empire troops going to come in? What other reasons they're going to be for them to change that? Because I don't believe just a load of random people will make good for stormtroopers. I believe the clones are the best troopers, and the stormtroopers were only a replacement because something happened to the clones. And I think further down the line there's going to be more defects, and then overall there's just going to be throughout the galaxy a quick enlisting thing for the Empire, and then they're going to take on the clones, and that they're going to manipulate the galaxy, I would say, and then turn everyone against the clones. So the clones are literally on their own. If they did that, that would be so sad. But that is the only reason I can think of that how they would transition the clones to just random people, and why these clones their inhibitor chips are wearing off and they're getting their conscience back again almost. And is that happening to Crosshairs there as well? Like, every time he takes off his helmet, why is he doing that? Like, he doesn't need to do it all the time, but it's only to focus in. So something's happening there. And it's like, are you thinking about joining back with the squad? And are you thinking about you want to find the squad and get revenge and get them to be working for the Empire, like for him as well? There were so many juicy things happening in that episode. I absolutely loved it so much. I thought it was amazing. The whole premise of, rescuing Hera's parents and rescuing them off Ryloth, and then seeing a bit of Hera flying around. That was awesome. I loved seeing her flying around the shuttle and the dogfights. I swear we haven't really had any dogfights in here so far, or not any decent ones anyway. So it was I say dogfights, it was more them just flying around and shooting things, but I enjoyed that very much. But to see her flying around, I don't know why I thought we'd see the Ghost like it'd be like in a hidden away Hondo type hangar with all the ships, and Ghost would be one of them, like their escape ship or something. That would have been pretty cool. But at least we know she's safe, and her parents are safe, and her mum at the moment is safe. That's good, but that makes me feel like she's going to crop up again later on. So I think in this episode there were a lot of sort of early seeds planted, and everything that Dave Filoni has put in and the story group is going to have payoff later on. I feel there's a lot of things, if you really look into it, like the clones with Hera and with Bad Batch, these seeds are being planted, and there's going to be big consequences at the end. That's what I feel like is happening. There was, just after the first couple of episodes, it started feeling a little bit sort of fillery, but I think that was just more the character building side. But now you could see things are happening, and now exactly what I wanted at the end of this episode. It was so good that you can just start the speculation train and off you go, and that's exactly what I wanted. There's some great moments in there with the reactions, but I think the emotional thing was obviously coming up the hangar, and then that heroic clone moment. It just makes you realise, I don't know about you, but for me, I grew up, so I was about 9. I was 9 when The Phantom Menace came out. So the Clone Wars and clone stuff, I was in that sort of peak age, and I sort of grew up with that. So I think I was 15 when Revenge of the Sith came out, 14, 15. All the clones have always been, like, I've loved the clones. And there's always been that eerie thing when I was younger, knowing that there'd be stormtroopers. But now seeing that, and it's not really them turning into stormtroopers. The Order 66 thing was obviously terrible and sad, but now we know what the clones are like. We've had the Clone Wars, and we've had all those emotional stories, and how loyal they are to the Republic. It was already sad enough to see them do Order 66, but now to see them sort of turn back and see the Empire for what they are, I think that's really emotional. And they've lost their brothers, really, which are the Jedi. I'd be interested to know what they still think about the Jedi, if they realise what they're doing is wrong and inhibitor chip is wearing off, and then they're like, oh crap, We killed all the Jedi, by the way, and everything kind of was our fault. I don't know if there's going to be sort of realizations like that. That would be really interesting if there was, but that would just, I can only imagine it'd be so emotional. I don't really know what's going to happen in the next episodes. I couldn't really speculate that far, but all I know, keep it up with episodes like this, and I think we'd have a lot of fun. The fact that Crosshairs is, like, we knew Crosshairs was hunting them to begin with, but now he's actually hunting them. He's got permission to do it. That's going to be interesting. And where does that lead? And that brings you back to the whole Crosshairs speculating, and is this going to be when he's saved? If that happens, it will be at the end of the season, and then bring the team back together. And I think that's what would happen unless Crosshairs dies or something, which I can imagine happen as well. But I really feel like maybe at the end of this season, there will be a big showdown. Crosshairs is saved, and then that would then lead on to, for the next season, all the big things which are happening in the Empire, and it becomes more of the Empire taking over and sort of saving the clones. And I think that would be a really great objective for Bad Batch, going around and rescuing clones and trying to fight with them, and which leads to some massive, huge, momentous galaxy-wide battle. But it's very quick, that's the thing, and maybe the Death Star has something to do with it. I don't know. Probably not, actually, because obviously that's sort of Rogue One time. So yeah, I'm sort of really speculating, fanboying at the moment, but where's it going to go? I don't know. I'd love to know what you think of where it's going to go. Of course, I love reading your ideas and what's going on. Just put everything in the comments, what you feel about this episode, and also what you feel like is going to happen later on as well. There's room for so much, but I really do think those seeds are being planted here at the moment, and the soil is being sown. And there was just so many great moments in this, and obviously I had to applaud those perfect moments, and that was really emotional when they captured, and there's half clones and half, and the clone theme behind from Kevin Kiner, I should know his name, listen to his music all the time. But yeah, really awesome episode, loved it so much, more like that. But I hope you enjoyed this reaction, review, and watching, whatever you like to call it. My name's SKYMAN Universe. Let me know your Star Wars quote, write that down in the comments below. Take care of yourself, and remember, the Force will be with you always.